Another thing I had to write about is I got arrested when I was 17 in like I guess it's like a teen party, teen club. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the first video of my short series that I mentioned on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow. It will be down below. But pretty much I wanted to do a short series of videos for things that I just feel like people don't really consider during the law school application process. So all the way from like character and fitness, which I'm going to talk about today, to diversity statements, optional essays, negotiating scholarships, finding housing, just all of that. So this will be maybe like 5 to 7 videos. I haven't quite decided yet, but it is going to be just a series of short videos where you will be able to learn more about things that I feel like people don't talk about enough. So if you're interested, of course, like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that, and let me go ahead and get started. So basically, if you're not familiar with what character and fitness is, pretty much it's just saying that on each application that you do for law school, they'll ask you a question about, let's say, for example, were you ever arrested? Has anybody ever had a restraining order against you? Have you ever had to leave school for a period of time? Have you ever been kicked out of school? Have you ever got cited for, like drinking on campus, things like that? That's character and fitness. But the big thing about it is that to remember that it's not only big for your law school application, it actually affects when you apply for the bar as well. So let's say, for example, that on your law school application, they ask you, were you ever arrested? And you feel like that because it was expunged, you don't have to mention it. Well, maybe that could be the case if the application actually says, do not state things that were expunged, but you need to read carefully because it may actually want things that were expunged. It may actually want things that there is no record of. Because if you go to take the bar and you didn't put that and then the bar finds out, you have to sit in front of this entire committee, et cetera, et cetera. And from my understanding, it's not a pleasant process. So pretty much the big thing about character and fitness is not only for admission, but it's for long term too. It's for when you actually graduate. You don't want to not be honest on your law school application, and then when it's actually time for you to, take the bar, you pass the bar, et cetera, you can't actually even sit down and take the bar because you lied. So pretty much what I would say is just make sure that you read the instructions carefully. Like I think one school I applied for, I don't remember which one it was. They even asked me if I had been suspended in high school. And I think I was suspended for like being tardy too many times or something, if I remember correctly. But I was honest. I said I do not recall, but based on what I do recall, because I really didn't know. I guess I could have called my high school, but I graduated in high school 2008 really, because I graduated early. But keep in mind, they will ask all of that. I know they ask, like, have you ever had any speeding tickets? Some people will want, some schools will want speeding tickets. Some will want parking tickets. Some will want, like, if you got, no insurance tickets for getting in wrecks, et cetera, et cetera. Just make sure you read each question carefully because they may all want different things. I know for some schools I applied to, they wanted me to go ahead and just answer the question in the application. Other schools wanted me to do, like, an entire different addendum, like an attachment. So make sure you read the instructions carefully would be the main thing I say. I will talk about exactly what all I had to talk about because I did have things that I had to write addendums for. But pretty much I just really want to reiterate that you need to be careful and read it carefully because I have also heard about people not catching what they said and then sending something to the school later and saying, oh my gosh, I forgot to send this. And the school actually responding and saying something to the nature of, oh, you should have sent this in when we first asked for it at the beginning when you first applied. So just make sure that you read carefully is my big tip. But I will go ahead and share, I'm all about being transparent. So I will share what I actually had to write about. So I guess the first thing that I had to write about was speeding tickets. So I think I had maybe 8 speeding tickets in my life. I'm 28. So I had to go through and write about each speeding ticket that I received. So, and this was only for certain schools, keep in mind. But overall, I'm just telling you all the things I had to talk about on the 15 applications that I did. I had to write about speeding tickets. I had tickets before for riding, driving with no insurance, even though I had insurance. So I had to talk about that, just going to court, actually saying, hey, I do have insurance. Here's my insurance. It just wasn't in my car. This was before, insurance was on your phone or whatever, or before I knew about that. So I had to do that. I got a ticket for, I got in a wreck, and I think my tires were bad, and so they wrote me a ticket in North Carolina for, I don't know, improper equipment or something like that. I had to write about that. So, and I'll insert the 2 sentences that I put for that and show you what it kind of looked like. But another thing to keep in mind is look at how they want you to answer the question too. So like I mentioned, they may want you to answer it in the application, but then some schools will say add an addendum and label it character and fitness question 1, or add an addendum and label it optional 1, or add an addendum and say traffic violation. So make sure that you label each page properly too, will be another thing, because you just don't want them to find anything to, like, you know, turn you away for. So just read carefully. Another thing that I had to write about was I took a semester off of school in college. So I wrote about like my family issues and all of that, what was going on at that time. I think that was only like 2 or 3 sentences. Pretty much just saying at this time, my mom was going through this. It affected myself and my sister in this way. And this is why I had to drop out of all of my classes for a semester. And then I was able to go back the next semester because we did X, Y, and Z that made our family be in a better position. Pretty much is all I said. I think it was like 4 sentences max. I'm not going to insert that because that's my mom's business, not mine. So I won't insert that. But pretty much it was just like very quick, to the point. Another thing I had to write about is I got arrested when I was 17. In like I guess it's like a teen party, teen club, whatever you want to call it. I will insert what I wrote about that here if you're interested. But I think I wrote like 2 paragraphs for it. That was pretty much it. I didn't have any issues with it. One thing I want to keep in mind, and like just tell you guys to be very transparent, I didn't even really have to report that because honestly, I called every single courthouse, probate office, whatever in Huntsville, Madison, Harvest, wherever I'm from, and there was no record of it whatsoever. The lady was even like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, why do you even care? But I still wrote it because I just didn't want it randomly to pop up in 4 or 5 years. So I still wrote about it. So you don't have to do that. I'm not saying that you have to be that honest. Some people told me that I didn't have to. I still did it because I just didn't want it to come back on me. I don't like taking chances. And I will say I did not have any issues. I did not have any school ask me about what happened. I did not have any school say, oh, you have 8 speeding tickets, we don't want you to go here. I never had any of that happen. So I'm just giving you guys these examples to show you that yes, I took a semester off of school. Yes, I had speeding tickets. I got in a lot of wrecks. Yes, I've been arrested before when I was a minor, and I still got into very good schools. Not saying it will be the same case for you, but I'm just, showing you a success story, I guess. Now, of course, if you have some issues that are a little more, complicated, still be honest, but just be concise. I don't think you need to tell them every single thing that happened every hour. Just be concise. Get to the point. Tell them how you changed, why it won't happen again. You can do that, and I would say like 3 or 4 sentences usually. Maybe 2 paragraphs, but when I say paragraphs, I mean like short, because you don't want them to like read it and then feel like you're, how sometimes when somebody's lying to you and they talk too much, you don't want to be that person. Just be concise. Okay. But I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for character and fitness. It's just pretty much going to ask you about, being arrested, getting speeding tickets, getting parking tickets, any type of violent incidents. I think I even had one application ask me about financial debt, but it wasn't just like, like regular credit card debt. I think it was like adverse action. So like having like a lien or a foreclosure or something like that, something big, I think it said. So I had like credit cards, but I didn't put that on there because it wasn't like in default or anything, So just keep in mind that you need to be honest, and that if you do have anything like that, go to the DMVs, look up all of your driving records, reports. I think I was able to pull some of them, one of them for like $7 and the other one for like $13 or something like that. It wasn't too much. It wasn't cheap necessarily, but it wasn't too much for it to be like an unexpected fee. So pull your DMV records, pull your arrest records, pull your background reports, anything like that that you think may come up. Go ahead and order all those reports so you have it. Because for me, I started on my character and fitness, I think like when I first started studying for the LSAT, because I didn't want to miss anything. And I knew for the #1 school I wanted to apply to that they were like very strict on character and fitness. So in conclusion, make sure you read the instructions carefully. Make sure you're honest. Make sure that if they ask you about it again on the bar, you can repeat what you said. And just make sure that, if you're still like in high school or college right now, that you're thinking about that. Try not to get in any trouble so that you don't have to write all these addendums like I did. And that's pretty much it. Next video will be about optional essays. So think like, why do you want to go to this school? What's your favorite movie? Name your top 10 favorite ice cream flavors, things like that. I'm going to talk about those because I did have to write some optional essays. So if you're interested, don't forget to click the bell, subscribe, all of that. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.